We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
Have you ever stone tights though, or like anything?
Have I ever stoned anything?
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever have like puff paint back in the
Might
day?
be the JJ. No,
Like, wait, what did you say?
the JJ.
It's vajazzled. Have you heard that? Like when you bedazzle a
You get
hoo-ha?
a little piercing.
Right, it's vajazzled.
But like, if you bedazzle your butthole, is it just bedazzle?
It's boodazzled. It's boodazzled.
Isn't that bukkake?
Oh, yeah. No, but it's butt dazzled.
Speaking of stones, I'm actually pretty proud of my mom and dad because they ordered their first Uber today.
Oh, I love this segue.
She is inserting herself.
Okay.
Yeah, they've gotten really good about because they ride the train now. There's the train in Utah. It's called Front Runner, and
this is in Salt Lake City?
yeah.
Okay, but like if it's in Salt Lake City, why is the train not called Godspeed?
Oh my god.
Paul,
Or Joseph Mormon speed. Is it Joseph Mormon?
Joseph,
Mr.
Smith.
Mormon?
Smith.
Joseph Mormon?
That's Smythe, dear. No, Smith.
It's not Joseph Mormon? I don't know.
No, it's Joseph Smith.
I think it's Brigham trains.
Okay.
I like that actually. Brigham chains to me. Trains, not chains. Wait, no, you never answered my puff paint question.
So I was young when they invented puff paint.
But you had a daughter.
No,
I
but
still
I
do.
was a kid, and that was like something you could do even for me.
Oh yeah.
So I have made a sweatshirt with puff paint.
I fucking love puff paint. My mom passed puff paint down to me. Like, because we would do like, God, I remember I was like in either kindergarten or something, and we would have to like, not bedazzle, but like we would put like writing on the like fabric, and it like, after you washed it, it would always come off. Did you ever puff paint?
You know, I always thought that was going to be weird because it's like once you wash it,
Yeah, it's not good.
it's not good. Like
No.
it's going to come off and then it gets on everything.
100%. 100%.
You know, and I feel like those are the type like. Didn't Taylor Swift do a puff paint shirt in like one of her videos back in?
I should puff paint. I think I'm going to get into puff paint again. I'm not working on. I'm going to get into puff paint.
I don't know what puff
and
paint
sell
is.
them at the farmer's market.
You didn't know
Oh
what
my
puff
god!
paint
Because it
is?
would be very
I don't.
hipstery, like
But
vintage.
I could also somehow incorporate marijuana into
a
it.
cannabis. So it's puff
Paint.
puff paint.
Yes. P4 for short.
Can you explain to Nick what
puff.
puff
I don't know
paint
what
is?
Okay,
paint
so
is.
puff paint is like, it's basically like
It's paint.
It's paint that's puffy.
You guys are terrible.
Swells, like
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's like a
this?
two. It's basically stuff that you can like DIY. That is not good.
It
puff
is.
paint.
It is paint that you talk dirty to, and then it grows. It
Uh-huh.
engorges, if you will.
Yeah, so like it was something
paint.
that was very like early '90s, maybe
Late
for
80s,
me.
early
Okay,
90s.
okay.
Like
yeah.
you
Late
weren't.
70s.
No, Andy, you weren't born. No, you were too young for puff paint. But like basically, it was kind of like a DIY fabric paint where you could just like put it on, and it had texture. So it had puff to it, and so it was like a thicker kind of paint, and some of it would dry down flat, but some of it would basically, obviously, puff up, and there would be
This-
texture.
This week's drink challenge words
Puff.
are puff paint.
No, just puff. Or paint. But yeah, no, puff paint. How do we get on puff paint? I don't even know what's going on.
Because we started with bedazzling and vajazzling
Yes,
and all
and
that.
then butt dazzling.
Yeah, and then butt
And then
dazzling.
pajazzling for the penis.
Yeah.
Would you ever pajazzle your dick? Or dejazzling?
I would feel like if you did that, it would just be weird for the other person.
Well, and would it have to be hard for the whole time? Cause
Right,
like,
and then when he's soft,
if it shrinks
is
back,
it just
does it like fall off? Not the
No,
penis,
but it's going to be very uncomfortable for you.
Oh my god, what are we looking at?
I looked up bedazzled penis.
I want that
that's a cute
charcuterie
charcuterie
board.
board.
I want that charcuterie board that looks like a penis. Yeah.
And it's only $19.
And it has a little curve to it.
As it should.
Well, I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're these unprecedented gays.
With puff paint. I am like, I'm not kidding. Like, I want to go to Michael's and get puff paint. Because, like, it's the perfect, like, holiday activity. And we're getting into, like, spooky season. And then Thanksgiving
oh my God,
season.
You could make, like, a shirt with pumpkin spice latte on it.
Oh my God.
What if they have pumpkin spice puff paint?
Ew. But also, maybe, I would smell that and it'd be good.
So I think we need to do an episode in the future just going through Nick's search history
Oh,
on his
yes.
website, because I just walked in and his computer was like bedazzled penis.
Yeah.
Like that's a search term most
Oh, yeah.
people would love.
And he doesn't private tabs,
No.
which is why he gets really
Oh.
weird suggested ads. Like,
Maybe I want them on purpose.
Right. Who said they're accidental? You know?
touche.
So did your parents make it to wherever they were going
They
on time
did.
with their Uber?
With their
okay.
Godspeed.
They got their Uber. They made it to Indianapolis. All is well.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it.
You've met them. They're lovely people.
Yeah, they're a lovely
Yeah.
couple.
So now they're going to be Uber experts.
The
I
thing,
know.
The thing I remember about your parents was they thought our grill was spotlessly clean. I was like, oh, how nice of you to
Oh, that's
notice.
just them trying to make conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did. We
Nick
did a
was just
pizza
like-
party.
Nick just like, yeah, they didn't really think that.
We're
Actually,
getting
it is a
we're getting
spotless
behind the
grill.
scenes real E True Hollywood story right now.
Yeah.
They actually thought your grill was whatever.
We made homemade pizzas. with
Yeah.
that was
Oh
super
my
fun.
god.
Yeah.
That dough. Oh, can we do that again?
Oh,
Yeah.
I found this thing. You actually can. I know you have your standalone pizza oven, but you can get one that sits right on top of your grill, and it's like that metal encased stone. So it goes
Huh.
in your grill. Your grill heats it from the bottom.
Really?
But you can get a pizza oven on grill.
on the grill.
On grill.
I almost I didn't forget, but like almost like accidentally donated my Uni pizza oven because when I left my last apartment, like we're not allowed to have grills where we are now because they have a grill area.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't need my grill, and I was like, I don't want to move it out and like try and figure out what to do with it. So I was like,
Pizza.
hey, landlady, like if anyone wants the grill, like have at it, right? So on my walkthrough day, my last day, like where we did the walkthrough or whatever, I was like, oh my god, the grill's gone, and my Uni pizza oven was in the grill, and I was like, holy fuck, I don't have my Uni, and I was like, so about the grill, do you know where it is, and like, can I, if it's still here, can I take my pizza oven? She's like, oh yeah, it's just out front, like go for it. I was like, oh my god, thank god. So the Uni is still here.
Oh my
But
god, the Uni is safe.
Right, I do think we should do another pizza party because that pizza recipe, the dough recipe that you had, was so good.
I have all the ingredients because I've been wanting to do it. So
Let's do
when
it.
Paul's back from his next trip, we'll do it.
In like what?
After
10
Fogo de
weeks.
Chao.
Yes. So oh my god, next month.
Yeah.
But that's like so soon. God.
When you think about it,
It's
really not that
Christmas.
long.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, Paul.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, darling.
Somebody asked me, he was like, are you guys all ready for the Christmas party that we do at work? And I'm like,
What?
what? It's September. Please stop.
Well, they have decorations at Costco, like Christmas trees.
Yeah. Our neighbors already have Halloween decorations up.
No.
Come on, people.
Wait until like at least like I'm all for fall decor, but like not outside. Like if there's like spooky stuff, wait until Halloween to put up, or no, wait until like October 1st to put in like the Halloween stuff. Fall stuff can be the month of September. Like get your leaves,
Yeah.
all that other crap. But like no,
I'm really
no
judgy about people
skeletons.
who do it in other holidays, but I'll decorate really early for Christmas. So
But you guys
But-
know because you do it like
Because we leave our
Thanksgiving,
Christmas lights up. So we're already decorated for Christmas.
but no one knows
no
about
one
that.
notices.
And it's because they're not plugged in.
Right. And then he changes the light bulbs out on the patio to the clear ones.
Yeah.
No,
So-
to the color ones.
Oh, to the color ones.
But
yeah.
we've been leaving those up.
Yeah.
Because they also are good for pride.
Oh, that's right.
And just like in general,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like it's a nice ambiance. Ambiance.
So how was your week, Joe?
Well, there were some events that occurred. Oh my god, I always forget to open up my app. Oh, Lord. So this week, there were a couple highlights. First and foremost was my mom came to visit for just like quick. No. It was a quick luncheon, and you guys weren't here. So
That's actually true. I can.
So
verify.
she was in LA for work because they're doing like a move or whatever, and she had to like do something. And so she was like, "I'm gonna just drive down, and we'll have lunch on Sunday." And I was like, "You don't have to drive 2 hours just to have lunch with me, because it's a long drive." But she was like, "Let's do it, whatever." And so she also did it because my dad had COVID. I think he still does. Maybe.
Okay.
So
she brought it with her.
Maybe. I don't have it. She doesn't have it. She kept testing. But so she came down on the weekend on Sunday. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because we went to this restaurant down in, was it Little Italy? Called Zinke?
Oh, Zinc, yes.
Not good.
No.
Girl. So maybe they just like were
maybe it was just that day.
just not on a good day. But like
Yeah.
my mom got a ham and cheese sandwich and they forgot to put the cheese on it. My burger was like overcooked. And I got this like broccoli curry soup, and it was just like watery.
Oh.
So I mean, their food.
You guys should have just gone to the Crack Shack across the street and got chicken sandwiches.
Well, so we were going to go there, but my mom's kind of particular she's very picky with food, and I was like, well, this might be more like, because we walked by Zinke and like it had a cool ambiance, and I was like, this could work, and so. I think maybe just Crack Shack probably next time. Because they have chicken sandwiches. You can't go wrong with that.
Right, no.
And I was going to get, like, their chicken nuggets. And I've only been to Crack Shack once.
I love Crack Shack.
So that was one thing. And then the kind of dramatic event of this past week was my Roomba. Roombasha. Like, the wheels on the Roomba, like, they did not go round and round, bitch! I knew you were going there! Stop it! The wheels on Roomba should go round and round. I mean, they went round and round, but the treading on them, like, there's like maintenance that you're supposed to do with these things. I did not know that because like she was having trouble getting back onto the little like rampy thing to do the vacuum part, and I was like, oh, she'll like just need to do like wheel tread. So like you can get off-brand things on Amazon for like $10 because like otherwise you have to replace the wheels, which are like $25 each. And I was like, I'm not spending $50 for this Roomba. All she does is like, you know, she sucks, literally. So I get these like treads, and then I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow morning. And I think I'd woken up the next morning at like 5. And so I was like, well, I have nothing better to do. So I'm going to disassemble the Roomba in the living room. And like Nick walks out and he's like, what is happening? And I was like, don't worry about it. I'm just doing some surgery. So I had to fix it, but it didn't work. So then I had to actually buy the stupid wheels. So I was annoyed at that.
That works.
So now that you're cohabitating, is it still your Roomba or is it our Roomba?
I don't think Nick likes the Roomba.
Oh my god, why? What did it do to you?
Because it runs like 3 times a day.
It doesn't. It's because it cleans up all the crumbs he drops. He's like, oh my god, I'm holding a mirror to myself.
Does it really run 3 times a day?
No. It's not like I try to basically do it when he's not home because he goes to work like, you know, like a normal societal person. So I just run it while he's away.
I don't. So why don't you like it when I'm running?
I'm just making a joke. It's just it's fine.
It's a little loud.
I would not want a Roomba in the house. Like,
yeah, okay. It can be annoying because it's like, oh, if it's in the room that you're in, you have to like avoid it.
Our house wouldn't.
No.
It would be good because of all the rugs we have,
and there's like the sheet. They struggle. They struggle with like not inclines, but like so we have like flat floors.
I want like the AI that'll know it's like, oh, I gotta lift up, but then again, that would then rise up and kill us all. So
right,
it's like a ninja Roomba would be great.
You know, like the VR headset where
right.
you kind of draw the space with your finger and it then like stays within that play zone. You could do that with a Roomba. Like look at the room in VR and draw like the sofa and where everything is. And then it knows.
I will say, like, it is very smart, and it's kind of creepy with how it does it, because it maps your house, and, like, it does, like, a mapping run. So you let it go, and it'll do, like, exploration. Oh. So, like, it mapped the apartment, like, perfectly. And I was like, oh, wow. It even has, like, the, like, weird kitchen layout, and, like, it has it to the point where it is legit the floor layout.
On the app, you can see the map.
It uses... what do we have? The LiDAR scanners.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. But it also has a camera. And so, like, my old boss, Trisha, she was like, yeah, my Roomba, like, came in when I was showering, and I was like, oh my god, the Russians are going to see me naked. And I was like, if Rumbasha sees me naked, I'm like, you're welcome. Same. Oh, I also realized, like, we were, was it at night? So I was like, okay, like, I walk around naked, you know, and we have, like, through the, what are they called? The blinds, like, open at night, or, like, in the morning. And I was like, surely no one can see inside. Everyone can see inside.
Surely, and everyone else.
And I was like, oh dear. Because I was like, oh, you know, like when you're down on street level, like you have to look up. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because it was like, dusk? No. Is that the one at night? Dusk?
Yeah.
Like, but sunset was happening. And I was like, wait, Nick, that's our apartment, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I could see in it. Like, Clearly. And I was like, oh dear. Because, like, in the morning, like, I don't sleep with clothes on. So, like, you wake up in the morning and, like, it's early. So, like, people might be getting a little glimpse of,
a little
downstairs.
Joey.
Right.
See if you have squatters sitting out front with a cafe table.
Oh, my God.
Your neighbors are like, okay, the show's about to start, everyone.
Well, and then I was like, I'm going to be the naked neighbor from
neighbors.
Friends.
It's like, the matinee is...
I should put up, like, a tip jar, like, somewhere and just be like, put, like, a thing on the, like, on the door and, like, have a sign and be like, please tip me. Like, here's my Venmo.
Yeah, I think that's called OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of effort. So those were two things. How are you? What's up? Your week was more fun than mine.
You know what? I will say we had a great time. We went
Where'd
to
you
Minneapolis
go?
and we did the Uncanny Experience. So, you know, that was a lot of fun. So it was a 2-day get together over a weekend in Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Club, and it was basically X-Men, like, fanatics and stuff. There was probably like right around like maybe 200 or so people there, and I mean, it was just a lot of fun because it was like you have all these people who are together and they all love and have passion for the exact same thing that you do. So it's like, that was so cool. And X-Men is like, and Andy and I were talking about this, like, comic books is a very singular thing.
It's like a solitary experience.
Yeah, it's a very, like, you do this by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But, like, because you just read it and then you're, you know...
Oh, reading. Okay, I got it.
But, like, loving the X-Men is a community thing. So it's like... And because it's also... It's basically... X-Men has always been an allegory for... society at large and for marginalized
groups.
Allegory
Mama Queen.
Okay,
come on.
yes.
Come on, vocabulary.
Thesaurus.
Yes!
What dinosaur are you? A thesaurus.
Well, you are.
So, you know, it's always mirrored what's going on. So it's like, you know, different marginalized groups can take what the X-Men are about and make it about themselves. You predominantly, like, gay and lesbian latch onto it because it is about, like, being feared and hated and not being understood and things like that. So you did have a lot of queer and a couple of trans people here at the that were at the Uncanny Experience. It was cool to go to classes and, like, actually talk about certain things. There was a lot of cosplayers there.
I know.
Which I was like...
I saw a lot of spandex in your pictures, and I was like, woo!
And I was like, I'm all about, like, trying to make, like, cool pictures and stuff like that. So when I saw the Cerebro, I was like, put the helmet on and...
The floating picture of you? Or not the floating, but, like,
right.
where you're, like, floating.
So
I was like, this is perfect.
I told the girl, I'm like, okay, this is what I want you to do. So she's dressed up like Jean Grey, and I'm like, okay, I just want you to, like, point at me like you're using your powers. And then I was like, Andy, okay, I'm going to jump up and you should take the picture when I'm in the air.
And how many takes did it take?
One.
Really?
That's one amazing. Take.
Good. Damn. Okay, photo man.
Okay.
I studied under Nick Stone.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a, what is it, a photography license? No, what would it be? Like a certification? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, so it was like cool because she was like, "Okay, I'll do whatever you want me to," and I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." I was like,
"But she liked the outcome."
She liked the outcome. She thought it was really cool. And then, like, anytime people would have, like, some kind of, like, sword or they were using their power of some sort, I'd, like, have them, like, pretend like they're hitting me or something like that. Or if I met somebody and I was like, excited, I just like point at them and have my face like all agap and stuff. So I was like, it was a lot of fun.
And there were some of the cosplayers were in like 2 different costumes or 3 different costumes in one case through the course of the week.
Oh wow!
Weekend.
Yeah.
So
damn.
we saw all different, like the same person that was in a costume yesterday is in normal clothes.
Really?
You didn't recognize them.
Yeah.
What a reveal!
I know.
And everyone had a podcast.
No, they didn't.
Mostly
So,
about
Us included.
Well, because it's like
I
these
love
are the
that.
people who love it and they want to talk about it. So like this was right up their alley. So like we met.
So shout out
to Homo Superior Podcast.
Oh,
4 guys from DC that are
Actually 5, but one of them was not there.
5 from DC that are all gay that talk about X-Men comics.
Right.
how fun!
Super funny, great guys.
Ex-wife.
The Ex-Wife Podcast was there.
These are great names.
Gray Malkin Lane was there. That's the road that the Xavier Institute is located on. So, and a lot more were there and stuff like that. So, shout out to all the podcasters. I just wish that there was a spot in during that time where like all the podcasters could get together and just like talk and meet and everything like that. Even though ours wasn't there for that particular reason, and we don't really talk that much about the X-Men. It's still like something that I love.
it's also networking too.
It is networking, yeah.
So it was 200 people. Like, is this the first time they've done it?
It's the first time they've done
Okay.
it. So, there's a lot of growing pains and stuff like that. Not a lot of stuff started when it was supposed to. But, it was like still for people who like love this. It was like, holy shit, this is so cool.
And even the little the registration, the badges weren't there right away. But that was if you came the night before to get your badge. So it didn't hurt you that they were 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
In fact, we ended up talking to somebody in line that then became like a person we connected with throughout the weekend. So it was an opportunity to turn the gray clouds into rainbow.
Right. And I mean,
There you go.
that's the cool thing about it was like you automatically had a connecting thing for each other.
Well, except I didn't, because I didn't know anything about X.
Right, so I had to explain it to Andy the entire time.
Do you know some of the characters? Because I know like a few.
Well, I mean, I know Charles Xavier and Magneto from the movies, but even that, like, there were references, and Paul apparently is a savant at this, because he'd look at someone in costume and be like, oh, that's X-Men from this era, when she was going to this event and dressed. Like,
oh my god!
Like people were doing costumes for a moment in time over a decade of story.
Wow!
Right. So it is very cool because there was like one guy we met who was from Homo Superior Podcast. He was dressed as Colossus, and I told Andy, I'm like, okay, he's Colossus, but he's from the Krakoan era when he is he's a little bit more distressed and he has. He's seen stuff, so now he has a beard and everything, and that's why.
And he was sexy.
Yeah,
that's why you knew it. You knew he was sexy. That's why.
Daddy.
Well, and he was thick.
Oh,
I was like, Andy was like, "Do you think he padded?" And I was like, "I don't think so." And then we found out, no, he didn't. So, but like, also people took like some of the amazing ways they did cosplay was so cool. Like there was one called there was a Instagram cosplayer. Her name is Brown Sugar Outlaw.
Okay,
and she does Storm.
Oh,
but she did Storm as her Hellfire Gala outfit the first time. So it was like supposed to like storm clouds were covering her breast area with like she had lights that blinked so it looked like lightning. It was like that kind of shit that I'm like.
And how long does that take? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So there was one guy who was dressed up as Juggernaut, and he was
with
just
the helmet.
Like,
I know him
with helmet and everything. Like
and he was larger than life, amazing costume. He could not sit down.
Right,
but his shoe was the size of like my shoulder span.
What?
Yeah,
one of his shoes.
Oh my god!
That's I don't know how he went to the bathroom.
Costume.
Yeah, I wonder that too. Like. So if you're in these cosplay like costumes, like some of them are very intricate. So like, do you just not drink water that day and like hope nothing happens?
Well, I'm hoping that some of them did drink water because like they needed to stay hydrated because it looked like they were sweating like crazy. I mean, some people had some really interesting ones. You can find some on my Instagram at I Don't Believe Anyone. You can I'll also post some on the
that's
Pod.
the Beast guy.
That's Beast.
Yeah, I know that one.
So it just people just thought of all these different things that I just couldn't believe. Like we had a couple of Icemen there, a lot of Jean Grey.
Yeah, he was cute.
So the woman has how many followers? Some crazy number of.
Actually, she does it, but the Iceman in the middle, he goes by Old Fashioned Nerd on Instagram. He has like 17,000 followers.
Damn,
it's crazy.
That guy was sexy too.
He was actually Iceman. That's his Iceman costume, except he didn't have any like white on. So I was like, okay.
Oh my god,
that guy,
the
the Juggernaut one. Yeah, I'll post all these on there.
See those shoes? They're huge.
Yeah, and the guy next to him was Black Tom because in the comic books, for a time they were partners.
Is that Rogue? Did you see any Rogues?
There were Rogues everywhere.
Okay,
there were Gambits everywhere.
Rogue.
Gender bend.
Which one's Gambit? Is he the one with the staff thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to also say the venue was incredible because it was this little private club, 4-story building. That was all wood panel. I mean, it really looked like it came from.
It looked like it was the Xavier Institute.
That's so cool.
And you could wander around. We went on the third floor. There were like squash courts and an observatory above that.
How
it was
interesting!
Just crazy just to wander around.
I wonder if they picked that on purpose.
Yes. Okay. Because it looked just like it.
Interesting.
So when we got our badges, like for VIP, which I bought mine.
Yeah,
VIP,
you were.
You could add your picture and you can choose your own mutant power. So mine was psychic camouflage.
Yeah.
So
and your picture was cute
with me, my little drink.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
So I had that one, but then Andy, because he was general admission, got assigned a power.
Oh, what was it? Wait,
I got a rock.
Okay, Charlie Brown. I love Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. Oh no, that's
so my power. They just assign you randomly a power. So what was mine?
It was illusion mastery.
Illusion mastery.
Oh,
but I put my own little twist on it, so I could make you like instead of seeing things, I could make you smell things.
It was very smell specific. So olfactory illusion mastery.
So I could clear a room basically.
Yeah,
oh my.
He's like I can make this whole place smell like an Abercrombie and Fitch store.
That would clear a room for sure.
But I thought like that was cool, and so it was like a lot of fun, and everybody was really
awesome,
just super nice, and we made a lot of friends. And since a lot of them were queer, the last night we were there, a bunch of people went to the Saloon, which is a gay bar in Minneapolis, and kind of hung out and stuff and did some things. So we got to talk to some more people and everything. I wish that there was a lot more like times to kind of just like sit and talk to people, but I will say they had like amazing people there, like Chris Claremont, who was the finding writer for X-Men and everything. Was exciting to see him there. Daniel Cudmore, who played Colossus in the X-Men movies.
In like panels?
They were there to sign stuff and they did panels.
Nice. Okay, cool.
They also had a lot of the voice actors and creators of the X-Men animated series.
I watched that. I think I watched that.
Yeah, and I got a hat that says previously on X-Men because that was like always how the episode started.
Awesome. So Chris Claremont, the guy, one of the founding writers, he handed out the diplomas at the end. So Paul got his diploma.
Aww.
So I have 2 diplomas, y'all.
Yeah, you do. Do you have a diploma on that Duke?
Well, like they had a bar. Okay. So the guy who was Colossus from Homo Superior podcast also did the drinks that were special for the show. Okay. And then they had like a snack area where like they did like hot dogs and pretzels and stuff like that. But it wasn't like they had like the kitchen wasn't available on property.
But they have a really nice dining room there, and in fact,
interesting.
The chef for that was really into the event, so he was kind of hanging out in the foyer watching some of the things. And we just asked him, hey, where would you suggest going for dinner?
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
And he gave us an amazing recommendation. Incredible restaurant.
So, like, that was the other thing. Like, we got a lot of time to spend in Minneapolis to go around and look. So, like, we saw the cathedral in St. Paul. Mm-hmm. Like, let me be just, like, all of our listeners in Minneapolis. Your city is fantastic. Not a lot to do in Minneapolis.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, so Was there like a gay area, like a gayborhood there?
It's actually most of the gay bars are right downtown. So like our hotel was downtown,
A block.
and we were a block from one bar, a block and a half
Nice.
from another, and like 4 blocks from another one.
Right.
Did you
they
go-
were all within
did you
walking
go
in.
out and check them
So we
out?
went to the saloon, which is right around the corner from us, like a block away from our hotel. We were going to go to the gay 90s, but oh my god, they don't start till like 9 o'clock at night. They don't open the doors till 9, so you know that doesn't get started till a lot
PM?
later. Yes, exactly. And then we were driving past the Eagle. We saw that, and then we're like, but it didn't look open. But then it was, and like, so we didn't stop there.
Well, and the Eagle, like here, the Eagle is very much like leather, fetishy kind of bar. But there, I think it's just a regular gay bar because
Wait, what's
they were
our
doing like
Eagle?
Broadway show tunes that night.
Oh my god, a bunch of bear queens.
Yeah, just doing like show tunes, like that would be crazy.
Oh my
wouldn't
god,
it?
just like
A
this
bunch
a
of
bear
queens
singing.
kind of defines Minneapolis. There's
Really?
a lot of thick.
Yeah, there were a
Oh.
lot of thick boys there.
So you were
that
having
was kind of like
fun.
my thing.
Well, wait, hold on, where's our Eagle?
North Park.
Our Eagles in North,
in North Park.
Kind of. Do you know where Tribute Pizza is?
Yeah.
Near
Right
there.
there.
I've
It's
never
tiny.
seen it.
Yeah, it's tiny.
If you piss from one end to the other,
It's
you'd probably
done.
be able
And,
to-
yeah.
Okay.
And like the first night we went to Saloon, which was like the Thursday night when we got there, right? Like
No, the first night we went to
Oh, it was Friday.
the drag one.
Oh, right, we went to Lush, which was a little bit further out.
Yeah, that's kind of in the suburbs a
But
little
it's
bit.
cute, and there was this queen there who was like still workshopping their
Oh
Their
no.
person show.
So it was a little rough around the edges.
yeah.
Well, she's had this show, and she came from
P-Town.
P-Town
Okay.
in Vegas before that.
Oh wow, okay.
And she was very talented, and she actually sang. She didn't lip sync. But once you watch, and she was a dancer. She had danced Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, she's a dancer.
for like a decade.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So legitimate
Humanity.
dancer.
Ooh, okay.
But she kind of had the same 10 moves. And so once you watched her for 1.5 numbers,
You're like,
Yeah.
So there was like a windmill, a split, a death drop.
A point over here, and a pat a beret, and a hey, I'm gay, and like you
did
know.
a lot of shoulder.
yeah.
Did she do? Oh my god! I remember when I was in Riverside, when I was like going out my first bars. There was a drag queen at the Menagerie, and she was the wall hugger. Like she would go, and then she would just back up against the wall and like just like wall dance, and like she would never ever leave. She would go from one side of the stage wall to the other side of the stage wall, and that
Okay,
was
come on,
it.
Spider-Man.
But like, and I think it was Trinity. No, Trinity. She does it here. I've seen her in San Diego. Trinity.
Okay, we'll look it up.
something.
It's not Trinity K. Bonet or
No,
Trinity
no,
Tuck,
no.
so.
But it's like Trinity. Anyway,
So we went to Lush and we went to Saloon. We didn't get to get the gay 90s or anything like that. We saw the Cathedral in St. Paul, which was actually really cool. We went and visited a local shop out there called
and you went
Scout.
to the zoo too.
We went to the, excuse me. We went to the zoo, which is free in Minneapolis, and there's an conservatory there where
What's
like
a conservatory?
like plants and stuff.
An
So-
indoor plant garden.
Oh, I love that.
and they had a Japanese tea garden and everything. And
Did you
it was
spill some tea?
fantastic.
Yeah, they had one room that was just all plants that are food. So, like, you could see vanilla and all these different spices.
Really?
And, yeah, it was amazing.
Huh.
And I was just like, we were both like, okay, this is not like a bad zoo. There wasn't a lot of stuff open because it was
Right.
kind of early, and it was like towards the end of their season, probably as we're getting closer to like fall and everything.
Oh, do they close for winter?
I'm sure they do.
I guess animals can't like, be alive.
So, but it was cute because we got to see a lot of animals. There was a lot to go, a lot of kids. But it's a zoo, so I guess they have to be.
Can't complain.
oh, you're talking about.
And there were like,
You were actually on their turf.
yeah, and then there were quite a few like tours, like school tours,
School
and stuff,
class trips.
like school class trips and everything. So I mean, and that was fun. We had amazing food while we were there. Like we went to a couple of like shout out to Bar La Grassa. Like that place was phenomenal.
What kind of food?
The Italian food.
Homemade
And
pastas.
we sat at the pasta bar, which is like the bar like right in front of the kitchen, and the expo, the sous chef was like freaking amazing. It was like this guy was bouncing back and forth, and then they had everybody trained. So, like, when they came up there, they all stood in line waiting for food to come out. And it
was like watching a ballet. That's how,
God.
Coordinated and calm.
I want to see a pasta bar.
They turned up, like, the room was completely full.
Really?
And there were tickets pouring out of that machine, but it was just like...
Nobody got freaked out.
So they were just like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's like the way every restaurant hopes to run.
Right.
Wow. And the food came out hot. It was delicious. Great portion sizes.
What did you get?
So I got the carbonara.
Oh, yes.
And then Andy got a raviolo.
Ooh, what kind?
It was a raviolo with sausage and cheese and an egg poached inside it. So a single large one.
Oh.
And then it had a brown butter, rosemary, and thyme sauce. That was
freaking delicious. And then they had like focaccia. So we did that, and then we did a chocolate budino dessert at the end. So it was a lot of food, but it was like that was more than enough for us. And then we also went to like Hen House. So shout out to Hen House in Minneapolis. Their food for brunch and everything was really good.
I'm guessing chicken?
No, it was like brunch stuff. So it was like they call it Hen House because it's like eggs.
I had a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, he had a chicken sandwich,
but it wasn't like Crack House or
correct.
Crack
It was
House.
like Crack
It wasn't chicken forward, but there were a lot
chicken forward.
I took Andy to Lat 14, which was the Asian place that I really wanted to take him to because I had been there a couple of times before.
Okay.
Really loved it. It was fantastic. We went to this place called Crave, which is around the hotel.
Was it Krave?
No, Crave. Yeah. And it was like... It was one of those places where it's great because it's close to all the theaters. So then everybody who's going to go see a show just go there and then...
Is that like a theater district as in like Broadway shows coming in?
Like Broadway shows or concerts and comedy shows.
So like Nicole Byers was playing one of the nights we were there.
The comedian?
Yeah.
No shit.
And just for one night.
Okay.
So we almost... got tickets, but it was expensive. It would have been like $150 a ticket to go see her do a comedy show.
And I mean, the tickets were already like, they were like 100 and something, and so we were like, oh, that's not too bad. But then once the fees got on there,
it was like
$48
in fees.
Yeah, it was a lot of fees, and we're just okay.
And that's just one thing about Minneapolis, and I know other restaurants around the country do this, but Minneapolis apparently is doing it religiously. But they're all adding like 5% surcharge to everything. So when you see something $13, it's really $17.
What's the surcharge for?
Like to cover paying minimum wage to employees.
That makes me laugh because it's like, or just like pay your employees.
Right.
Like, why are you passing the cost along to the customer?
Because it's a way to do it without noticing that your prices are going up.
San Francisco did that for like benefits. They'd be like, we're putting in whatever the percentage is for benefits for our employees. And I'm kind of like, or you could just provide it
and not pass that along to me.
Like, why I'm coming for the food,
or
just raise your food costs, right?
Yeah, food costs.
And don't be weird about it.
Well, the funny thing is like I was looking for a place for us to go, and I was thinking Crave, so I was reading the reviews before, and people are like, "It's great. The service was fantastic. Food was really good. Prices were a little expensive," and I'm like, "Okay." So we kind of were like, "Well, maybe it's going to be expensive." We get there, we're like, okay, I'm sure it's probably expensive for Minneapolis, but like for San Diego, this is actually cheap for us.
I mean, a burger was $17. It wasn't expensive at all.
But like that burger here in San Diego probably would have been like $22.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like
without fries.
Yeah, without fries, exactly.
Oh, you want fries with that?
Right.
So, fantastic time. All the food we had was great, except for like the last.
And you weren't even so negative about it. It's probably more me than you.
Right.
We went to this Latin Caribbean restaurant.
Okay.
Which sounded great. It was like
fusion
style, Latin Caribbean influence.
With a little bit of New Orleans.
And honestly, if you looked at the things on the menu, they looked amazing.
Okay.
But when we ordered, like, the food was very bland. There was no spice, which...
That's Latin, ironic for Caribbean food, like jerk
Caribbean
chicken.
Latin, you expect it to be spicy.
Interesting. So not a recommendation.
But it's fine because everything else, like we had fantastic meal, meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Basically,
it's not all going to be a winner.
It's not all going to be a winner. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, my mouth watered from that Italian place that you talked about. Oh my god,
it was really good.
And I mean, you know, like it is definitely a food scene city. So
Yes.
Is it really?
If we went back, we could go to 5 different restaurants and still have amazing meals,
Right.
you know?
Minneapolis. I would have never known.
You know, people think that, but they sleep on it. But it's actually, there's a really diverse amount of food there. And
Really?
You can really get a number of things there.
And that's okay. Minneapolis is in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Look at you with the geography.
Well, because I always get confused as either Missouri or Minnesota or Michigan. They're all real close to each other, right?
Are they though?
Are they?
Oh dear.
In the grand scheme of proximity, Andy,
Not on
yes.
the coast. It's so in that middle of the country.
Well,
kind of
I
way.
mean, you could throw a dart and hit one of them somewhere eventually on a map if you go there and throw a dart.
So I will say, thank you, Minneapolis, for giving us a great time. Even like, I will say, like the hotel we had was great because it was centrally located. We stayed at a Residence Inn downtown.
I was going to say, okay.
It was funny because like they use skyways in Minneapolis for you to get around downtown to the different buildings because like it rains a lot and the snow and
What's a
everything. like that.
skyway?
So when they built downtown, there are ways to go to every building 1 story up above the street level, so you never have to go outside.
Oh, like an enclosed...
An enclosed walkway.
Enclosed way to connect from, and you can go
From
to
every building?
downtown.
The only thing we didn't know was some of them are open on the weekends.
Oh, no. I was just going to ask, like, how do you know, like, where to go?
Or at
And-
8 o'clock at night they close.
At 8 o'clock at night, they close, and like they open specific ones at specific times.
Is there an app for that?
No, there is not.
And it's
That's
really hard to find
crazy.
Starbucks there.
Right.
Most of the Starbucks were not open early in the morning that we found.
That were close to us.
What
I
time
had
now?
to drive to a Starbucks. To
What
get
time would they be open? Like 9?
A couple of them were on a Sunday. They were like 9 or
Yeah.
later.
Really?
The closest one to us was inside a Target, so we had to wait until the Target opened,
Which was
for
like,
the
what,
Starbucks
8?
to open, 8 or 9, yeah, depending.
Oh, God.
So yeah, and then like so in Minneapolis, they're very big on Caribou coffee.
What is that? Just another brand?
It's another brand. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Pete's here.
Okay.
But there it's really big.
Caribou. Is it good?
It actually is pretty good.
Okay.
But, you know, I prefer my Starbucks.
Isn't it? What is a caribou? Like a
moose?
A big moose-ish.
Part of the Meese family.
Well, okay, so what
If
is
there
your...
was more than one.
So, and one other thing about the city, it was very diverse. It was very welcoming. You know, like
Yes.
as much as people say the Midwest is very kind of narrow-minded or even Republican, dare I say, people were super nice. We found lots of gay-friendly. Almost every place we went, there were gay people there.
Because it's a big city, right?
And it's a big city, and I
Yeah.
think it is a focal point in the
Right.
Midwest for gay community. So.
Huh.
And they're really close to Canada. So, you know, they get a lot of that, too.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, because
They get a lot of that.
Canada's gay friendly, so it just bleeds down into the
But,
city.
you know, the only problem with that, with traveling is, like, sleeping.
Girl, preach.
But that's going to be our topic. But we can't get into that topic yet. Because we still have to do.
So I'm like infatuated with your like trip. It sounded really, really good.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I got to see penguins.
And you
at the
planned
zoo.
Where'd you see penguins?
A year ago.
Oh, at the zoo.
At the zoo.
You planned this a
Yeah,
year
this is-
ago?
I planned this a year ago because I didn't even know the Uncanny Experience was happening, and then I saw it on Instagram
Last year?
The last year, and I was like, Andy, we have to go.
Okay.
Like we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Like so, we bought the tickets, bought the plane, got the rent a car, did everything, and I was so excited because I was like, I'm gonna get to show you the places that I went when I was there, and we'll get to see new stuff.
And you flew into MSP, which is the best airport.
It was actually, yeah, I like MSP because it's like
It is
really nice.
clean.
Okay, but let me tell you, if you're flying into Denver, hopefully you get to go into like the new part of Denver's airport because it is cute, bright, clean, and like I love the seating that they put into
This
there.
is the new Southwest wing.
Yeah, the new Southwest wing
I
and
don't think I've
the
ever
Denver
flown
airport.
into Denver.
Yeah, so because that was one of our stops on the way. So
And it was cozy.
yeah, it was cute. I loved it.
There
I
were
was
like little comfy sofas you can sit on that had power ports and you know.
Or like they had little like individual seating areas, so you could have like a little meeting if you wanted to, if you needed
Ooh,
to.
I wouldn't even have a meeting, but I would just want to sit there.
I know that's what I wanted to.
Be like, sir, I'm on the phone. Please don't.
So anyway, but we have to get into our segment, Mouth to Mouth. Mouth to Mouth resuscitation. So what are you obsessed with, Joe?
One thing. So I went to Lazy Acres this morning because I needed to go to the vet to pick up some flea and tick medicine, just like routine. And it's right by the Lazy Acres in Mission Hills.
Okay.
And so for the listeners, I think I've talked about Lazy Acres before on the podcast, but it's basically like Whole Foods-esque sort of thing. But from my understanding, I don't think they're anywhere other than California. I might be wrong. But there's one in Encinitas and one in Mission Hills. And they have like artisanal food items or whatever, but during fall they have pumpkin everything. And I totally forgot about this, but they have a vegan chocolate chip pumpkin cookie. And normally vegan cookies not good, but it like whatever they do, it's like almost like a cake cookie where it's like more like have you had like a cake cookie where it's more like cakey than cookie?
Yeah.
So, but they have those, and then I got chocolate chip pumpkin muffins. So those two things, a pumpkin everything is giving me life today. Girl, I'm a basic bitch, you know it.
I know
also
this.
my mom got me. She brought down a towel, and it said pumpkin spice season.
Yeah, I sent a picture to Paul of that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I said Joe's mom's been here.
Oh Lord. So yeah, what about you?
So two things. Right now, I am in love with the song "Waiting for You" by the Aces, which I talked about them before. They're a girl group out of Provo.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but like just the song for some reason is getting me right now, and I'm loving it.
Okay.
And the other thing we're obsessed with right now is Painkiller on Netflix. Like,
which you recommended.
Yeah,
Joe.
it is freaky deaky weird.
Does it make you feel really uncomfortable?
It does, especially because my sister is about to have major surgery, back surgery,
no.
and like she is definitely going to have to be on painkillers.
Right.
And Andy's like, "Well, you should have Melissa watch this," and I'm like, "No, she will freak
Not at
the
all.
fuck out."
No, she can watch it when she's done with her round of painkillers.
Right, and like, because she will freak out. She is already nervous about having the surgery and then being on painkillers.
So it is. To the extent this is true, it scares the hell out of me that these drugs are that addictive.
Well, we're like at the point where it's like it's like hit like really big in a small town, and people are like robbing pharmacies and stuff like that. And like there's this ring of people who would like go get their prescriptions and then go get them filled. And I was like, Andy, remember when I talked about this, like we would have people do this where they would want to get OxyContin. The prescription was always written for OxyContin and Flexerol.
Where is this at?
And when I lived in Orlando, when I worked at Super Target.
Okay.
And I would sometimes help out in the pharmacy.
Okay.
And like people would come in with their OxyContin prescriptions of Flexerol, and they'd be like, "I don't need the Flexerol." Okay, well, you're not getting either, actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I would tell them, like, we're not filling this, sorry.
Because he said he could tell by, like, their smell and the way they were carrying. Like, these were junkies, basically.
Really?
Yes.
It's just fucking crazy. Like, I mean, yeah.
But the corporate... I mean, certainly it's a dramatization. They paint the corporation as evil.
I don't think it's a dramatization.
But I don't think it's that far from the truth.
It's not.
Right,
And again, I'm telling you from, like, the behind the scenes... being in a big drug company, like, I mean, I had at my last company when they were talking about like lobbying to do drug regulations, we would get corporate emails that said, write to your congressman to prevent this because we won't be able to do innovation. It's like, no, bitch, you want your money.
Well, I thought it was really interesting when they kind of took the crack situation of the 80s.
Right.
And then, like, it's like this is the exact same thing that's happening, and but it's
but the people doing one of the things they talk about is basically the supply chain. The salespeople who are drug reps are all beautiful blonde, skinny women in high heels and driving Porsches that drive to doctors and are promoting this medicine.
Absolutely,
and that's absolutely true. I mean, I do think there's a lot of that, But basically, the point they were making was that, crack cocaine, you were putting the street dealers in prison, and for these people, you're giving them bonuses, and they're considered successful.
It's insane,
and it's like it's not even how many doctors they get on there or how much they fill. It's actually they're getting paid by milligrams that the doctors are prescribing. So like the more that they prescribe, the better their bonus was, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
It really is.
It makes me so like uncomfortable watching it. I'm just like,
But that's the way that they made it too for the listeners. Like Uzo, Aduba. Like
she was incredible.
It's so like it's very drama-y, but like just the way that it is kind of like it's drama-y, but then there's kind of like it perks you up and like it like catches your attention. It's very well done, and like Matthew Broderick. Phenomenal job as well. Like,
well, even Clark Gregg, who plays, he's the ghost of the one that's haunting. Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
So it's like I think he's great too.
Yeah,
like,
the whole thing, and like the crazy thing is just like, again, like I stumbled upon it and I was like, this is really uncomfortable because I'm like, this is not far. Like Andy, you're wrong. You're not wrong. Like it's not far from the truth.
Right.
So. Basically, if you have oxys, ask for something else.
Yeah.
Or only get your 6 pills.
But, like watching this, I have to watch something else before we go to bed to go to sleep so that I'll sleep okay.
When you were saying, like, oh, it's not something you want to sleep on, I thought you were going to, like...
thriller for real?
Like no, it's not a thriller.
Oh.
No, but it is
it's
so...
a dramatization.
Yeah.
And it gets me worked up.
Yes.
That I have to watch something soft.
It makes you anxious.
Like the Great British Baking Show, The Professionals, or Glow Up, or something.
Yeah, and I did it all kind of like... I binged like 4 episodes or like 3 episodes, and then I think I saved the last one or whatever. But like, it is heavy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And,
heavy.
And I think through the whole thing, like... bad stuff's about to happen.
Yep.
So you're kind of like anticipating every little thing. You're going, oh my God, something, they're going to do this or this is going to, and sometimes it comes true and sometimes it's different. But it gets into one of the points they make is how far reaching the consequence of this drug's addiction. And it's not just the person that overdosed or took, or died from it, but it's through their extended family, how it impacted them.
Yeah, and they got sued. There was like a big lawsuit,
huge
right?
Lawsuit, and there's a huge settlement, and then there's a huge bankruptcy.
Oh, they got bankrupt.
Where they're trying to basically shield the Sackler family from liability personally.
Oh God, of course.
So these people left with their fortunes,
of course,
shielded, and so I think there's an issue right now at the Supreme Court level saying. Whether the bankruptcy can protect them from personal lawsuits.
Really?
Which would be awesome to see.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing too, and I think I may have talked about this when I talked about it, but just the beginning of every episode where it's like a real life person who is like, this is my son who OD'd on OxyContin and like, we miss him dearly or whatever. It's like, oh fuck. So
it makes it real, although I will say my comment about that is they give very little detail about those people.
Yep.
So you don't know their story.
Yeah.
Only one gave a real detailed story about them. If you watch that and you liked it, watch The Boy Scout. There's a great
on Netflix
documentary on Netflix about
just
the
popped
Boy
up.
Scout.
I saw that too. Yeah, I was like, ooh, this is interesting. But it's like a movie, like an hour and 30 minutes,
it's
right?
It's about an hour and 30 minute one episode thing. But they go through basically the history of, like. No sexual abuse, that these people were blackballed and it's worse than the Catholic Church, worse than when they were they filed bankruptcy to protect themselves from further claims, and 82,000 people came up and filed claims that they were sexually abused during their time in the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll watch that tomorrow.
Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, no, because
you have a job, it's
right. It popped up. Oh man,
but it's funny because like going back to Painkiller, like. We still prescribe.
Absolutely.
People still prescribe OxyContin.
Well, that's like the whole fentanyl crisis. Like, that's why there's a big push for non-opioid painkillers for pain management. But
that's difficult, right? Because it's trying to turn off a specific receptor in
it's
your
brain. The blood-brain barrier, like getting into your brain too.
Correct.
To
and
help
unfortunately, outside of opioids right now, there's no real way to do that.
Yeah.
But like we tell people, it's like all the time, like, look, we're going to prescribe this to you because we get people who are like super nervous about using opioids and stuff like that.
Oh, me too.
And I'm like, look, here's how it's going to go. This is what you can do. You don't have to take it.
Right.
You could get by with Tylenol and Advil. If you want to, use like half of one the first day. You may need it just to help with the pain, and then after that, you should be okay. As long as you stay in front of it.
Is Vicodin OxyContin?
No.
Okay, because I don't think I've ever had or ever been prescribed OxyContin.
Probably not if you haven't had a major medical surgical issue. Like you probably have been given oxycodone.
I don't think I've had hydrocodone.
Yeah, that's Vicodin. Basically.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever had. But Vicodin works, so it's like I don't need anything.
It depends on your level of pain. So because each of those is a different class.
Yeah, Jesus.
So you just never know.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I worry about it. Like I had hydrocodone and I still was like, I don't know if I want this. Even when I had the gallbladder, I got did they give me Dilaudid or
no?
Something?
You got
Percocet?
Yeah, so hydrocodone.
Whew.
So
take it with caution, y'all.
The most insidious part of that to me was that this is supposed to be a time release thing that you take every 12 hours, but they knew. The pharmaceutical company knew it didn't last 12 hours, so that around hour 10 or whatever, you were going to start craving this medicine. So the whole structure of it was designed to make you want more.
Yeah, that's crazy. Lord.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's already been like almost an hour.
Girl, I know.
And we even got to our subject. Okay, so we're going to say this.
But here's the thing. If that's okay.
That's okay.
We're going to tease them.
Yes.
Are we edging our listeners?
We're going to tickle you a little bit right there. We're
going to tickle your vajazzle hoo-has.
Well, we'll have to save it sleep for another episode.
Yeah. So they'll sleep.
Yes.
And then they'll learn about sleep.
Okay.
Our sleeps.
But right before we leave, I do want to try a new segment. And I haven't thought of a name for it yet. Because how I wanted to introduce it, Andy didn't want to do it. So Firm Andy came down on me.
Yes, he did! Firm Andy did come on you, girl. I was like, woo! No. Firm Andy came down on me.
Great idea. Wrong package.
So,
never the wrong package.
So, I think right now for this one, I'm going to call it Opinion Onion because there's probably layers to this.
Okay.
So,
but what was the one that didn't get through?
No. We're not even gonna raise it.
I can't even entertain.
We'll have to do it off air.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But this is what I want to be like. I want to talk about something that like came up during the week, and I was like, why do people do this? Or what is your opinion on that? And even our listeners, send into
pet peeves.
Yeah. tugayspod@yahoo.com or DM us on Instagram at tugayspod.
Ooh.
Cringeworthy.
Yeah, like cringeworthy is like something where I'm just like, what?
So I'm sure that you have a list of 500 things because that's society right now.
One thing that happened that I was like, I want to talk about this and find out how people feel about this real quick. So public restrooms, when you go to a public restroom and you can't use the urinal, so you go into the stall to go pee, do you close the door behind you and lock it, or do you leave it open? Because, see, I close it every single time and I lock it because I'm like, I don't enjoy walking up to what I think is an open stall and looking in and somebody's taking a piss. Like, I think that's just weird to me.
I have done both, but depends. Generally, I'm a door closer.
So if you were depends, then it would...
But, there have been times where it's like, oh, I gotta do this quickly, and I'm like, oh, I just, gotta go, gotta do this, because it was like, I've done it at the Civic Center downtown at San Diego because we were seeing a show and it was the little doom doom doom. They're we're gonna start the show, and I'm like, fuck, I don't have time to lock and close the door, and there was no one in the bathroom. But I'm with you that I'm a closer and a locker.
Okay, because see, I think it's weird for me to walk up on something and see somebody taking a piss. I'm like, ugh.
Well, but that's that's what the urinals are for, because then you don't look that way. And even I also am not a urinal fan. I would rather go into a stall just because I want my privacy. I don't want to whip it out.
I'm not a urinal fan either because I'm like, I always look straight ahead and I'm like, I don't even want to look down at my own trunk.
Like, God forbid, like, if it's like worst case scenario, the urinals have the dividers, I'm fine, I can do that. Like, I'll power through
You're not
it.
a trough person.
No, I would rather die than piss at the Padres Stadium in the Trough or at any ballpark. I would
think that's
rather.
how 11-year-old Nick knew he was probably gay.
I would rather. No, I would rather be dead.
There's a bar in Denver where there's a trough, but it's a double-sided trough. So
No.
yes. So it's like there's no divider either. It's just an open trough, and it's like you're looking at the other person as they're peeing, and like, sup.
Nope.
It's a gay bar, of course.
I've done it before where like the door didn't really like open or close, so I just like let it kind of stay open because I want them to know that I'm in there.
Right. Like I don't need to be like this. I'm talking about like people leave it open fully, like it's a completely come in and use it because it's available. You know.
What brought this up though? Did you have an experience?
Well, because we were at the airport.
Okay.
And I'm like, I go to the restroom because I use the restroom a lot before I get on a plane. So I have to go pee.
You clear it out. That's fine.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm going in there and I'm like, the urinals are all full. I'm like, oh, I see a couple of doors open over here. And each one, there's like two. Each one had somebody taking a piss inside of it. And I'm like...
I would understand maybe one, but is that just a Midwest thing?
I don't know. It's like, okay, so Nick, what about you? How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
He probably doesn't.
I don't really care, I guess. No, it's mainly like the thing that I have an issue is if like you by chance have to like open the door and somebody's there and they like yell at you. That's happened before. But
I'm like you need to check the door.
They didn't lock the door. So that is actually more of like the ooh man, no. But like no, if I'm running into pee and like I don't close it, I actually do worry about it happening. I'm like, I hope somebody doesn't like open this up, and then it's gonna be embarrassing for both of us.
I'm gonna stick my finger at the person's butt. And be like,
but
woo!
In the spirit of cringeworthy, I would say one little add-on to this is people who talk to you at the urinal who don't know and just start a conversation.
No, even if you know someone, the bathroom is not a place for conversation. Don't fuck it. There was a coworker I had, and I'm like, why are you talking to me? This is not a place of conversation. It's a place of elimination.
Oh, excuse me. The hip-hop artist over here rapping, rhyming and stuff.
This is not a place for conversation.
This is a place for elimination.
Pew, 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 pew.
Superstore. Young Josie.
There we go.
I'd be standing in a urinal and somebody go, how's it hanging? I'd be like, it's not. I got it in my hand.
No. If that happens to me, I'd point to my ear and say I'm deaf. Nope. I don't know how to speak. I would learn sign language or whatever. Because that is like, don't talk to me.
Or what if they're talking to you while you're in the stall?
Even worse.
Or if they're on the phone. Oh my god.
Like, when you are in that little stall, it is a closed world. There's no one else outside.
Have you ever had like where you're at a stall and something like somebody is in the stall next to you and something like falls out of their pockets or something,
and you have to give it to them, or like their phone falls and rolls,
or they're
why would their phone roll? What kind of phone do they have?
The Motorola.
Oh my god. On that note, thank you everyone. Have a great week.
Good boy, Cooper.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.